Welcome back to another episode of Amazing Kitchen. Today, I'll be showing you how to make tenderloin medallion, pork tenderloin medallion. They are nice small round disc, pan-seared, and then we'll make a nice creamy sauce to go with it. This is a very simple and easy dish to make. Maybe half an hour of your time, and then it's ready to go. You can have it over rice, noodles, bread, mashed potato, salad, up to you. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you subscribe and like this video below so you'll be up to date with any new posting that we have. All right, so let's get into it. All right, let's start. So right in front of me, I have a few ingredients I'd like to go through with you. I have some pork tenderloin right here. It is a very lean cut of meat. It's different from pork loin. This is tenderloin. Tenderloin is a drier piece of lean meat. So typically you don't want to cook this for too long. You just want to get it just right, or else it becomes a little chewy and hard. So I'll be showing you how to cook this later. Then we have some mushroom. I have bell pepper, onion, a piece of garlic, 1 clove, and some spring onion for garnish. Then I have 1 cup of heavy cream. A half a cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of chicken broth. Then we'll be cooking everything in a mango yogurt sauce. Yeah, sounds good, right? Yeah, it's very different, but I'm sure it will come out tasty. So let's start. So the first thing first is we start with the pork tenderloin. We want to cut it into about a 1.5 inch thick piece. So maybe about 2 fingers length. Okay, about like that is good. Then you just keep measuring it and go down the line. If you like it thicker, go ahead, by all means, just cut it thicker. This is a good size if you're planning to cook this, and then it's beautiful to look at, and it's just the right size so that it can cook through evenly. So we just turn this to the side like a disc, hence medallion. All right, let's cut off the little end so that it can sit flat like that. Then we have the other piece. Now we repeat the process the same. So I have a lot here. I mean, you don't need this much. So I'm making for quite a lot of people. Okay, now this is all cut. We just need to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper and some garlic powder. And then leave that sit there on the plate for about 15-20 minutes so the salt can penetrate the meat. Then we'll take it to the stove and pan sear it. Just season all the pieces evenly with salt. It's somewhat of a thick piece, so you can add a little bit more salt than usual. It'll be fine. All right, now we add some black pepper over the top. And some garlic powder also. Just a little will do. This will add a lot of flavor to this. Then we flip each piece, pat it down a little bit, we flip them around. Then we add a little bit more black pepper and salt to the other side as well. Now we return this to our plate. Just allow this to sit here for about 15-20 minutes. Then we'll go and pan sear this, and this will serve a nice meal. Okay, great, that's done. Let me clean this chopping board, and then we'll continue with our vegetable. Let's start with our onion. So I have a very small onion, and for this we want to dice it up because we want to make this into a sauce. We don't really want to taste the onion. So I want this onion to melt in the pot So I just simply dice it into very small pieces so that it will add a lot of flavor to our dish, but not necessarily tasting it. Alright, so our onion is ready. Let's set this aside. It's nice to have a knife like this where we can cut the things so easily. Alright, clean our knife and let's move on to our sweet pepper. Now the bell pepper, we don't need the whole, so we just simply do half. Just this piece will do. And same, we just want to dice this because we don't want to taste it, we just want the flavor from it. Now we just simply turn it and rough dice it because this will all dissolve into our sauce anyways. Okay, bell pepper is done. Now our little garlic. Now this is just 1 clove. It's just for flavoring, just to get the aroma going for this dish. We don't want to overpower it. That's why I only have 1 clove. Alright, this will do. That is that. So set that aside. And last but not least, our mushroom. So for the mushroom, because we want to actually see this in the dish, we don't really need to cut this in any way. We just pull this apart to allow it to fall into its individual shrooms. Is that even a word? I'm not sure. But anyways, so we just break it apart so that it's not whole like this anymore. It becomes individual strands like this. So when we cook this, we'll have it floating around all over our sauce, and we can pick it up to have it with our pork tenderloin. So this is the spring onion. It's partly garnish and partly for flavor also, because we'll add this right before the dish is complete and then some at the end just to dress it up. Great. So all our ingredients are cut. Everything is ready to go. I'll leave everything on this chopping board. Now we can start heating up our pan and get the cooking going. All right, let's go. Our ingredients are here. Now let's get this wok going, or this fry pan going. Now we want to get the pan very heated because we want to sear this tenderloin over the high heat to get that caramelization on the surface. And then we'll remove it and allow it to rest until our sauce is ready, then we'll put it right back in. So today I'll be using coconut oil because coconut oil can handle a very extreme high heat. So it's very good for pan searing under high temperature, like this in this case. All right, temperature is right. Let's add our oil in. We want a little bit more than normal. All right. Now we allow the heat to do the magic, so we don't want to move this at all. Allow it to just sit there for about 2 minutes, and then we will flip it over. Then what we'll do, we'll use the same pan with all the caramelization at the bottom of the pan to cook our vegetable and our sauce. All right, let's flip this and see what the color looks like. Oh, looks nice. See, it has some browning at the bottom, and that's what we want. So this high heat searing will allow to seal in the juice. So then when we're going to cook this, it doesn't dry out as fast. Now again, we allow this to sear for another 2 minutes. Don't touch it, just allow it to brown. Remember, this is a lean piece of meat, so it'll cook through very quickly. All right, now let's check on this. It's been about 2 minutes. We flip this over. Yeah, nice. Has some color. Maybe you can turn it to the side. Try to get some of that on the side also. Some of that caramelization. So this is pretty much ready. We can just simply remove it from the heat and allow it to sit. But I just want to sear the edges slightly, just so that it has more of a beautiful color to it. Alright, now let's remove the smaller pieces. Great. Now the skillet has some caramelization at the bottom. We don't want to waste all of this. So we add our onion, our green pepper, and our garlic. So we just want to saute this slightly, then we can add our mushroom to it as well. The flavor is already smelling nice. How beautiful this is. Oh yes. We add 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of mustard. We just want to mix this over a little bit, release some of that flavor in this heat. Then we can add our mushroom to it. That will help us with the moistening of this dish. A little bit more black pepper for flavor. And a small amount of fresh rosemary. Just 1 stalk will do. This is smelling very nice. Now our mango yogurt goes in. Our chicken stock. And I'll put the cream right here. The cream goes in at the end. Let's bring this back to a boil. Great, everything is boiling. Now we can add our cream into it. Let's give this a mix. Look how beautiful this is. The color is nice and golden brown because of the caramelization of the meat earlier. Adds a lot of color to this dish. Now let's add a little bit of spring onion. Let's cover this for a couple minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. Allow it to simmer. Then we can add our pork tenderloin back in and cook it for another 3 to 4 minutes, and it's all ready to serve. Now let's check on our sauce. Ooh, it has reduced a bit, just right. Okay, this is looking good. Now it's time we put our tenderloins back in. Remember, these tenderloin will cook very quickly, so it doesn't need a lot of time. Now let's just flip this the other way. Yeah. So now every piece is coated with the sauce. Now we just need to cover this again for another about 2 to 3 minutes. Then this is ready to be served. Let's add the rest of the juice back in here, whatever that came out of the meat. Okay, let's cover this. Then we turn the heat on low to allow that to simmer until it's all cooked through. Now let's check on our pork tenderloin. Ooh, look at this. This is all good and ready, and the sauce has thickened up nicely. We can turn off the heat for this now, and let's plate this. All right, let's plate this. We have our pieces of tenderloin. Look how beautiful these turned out. Has a nice sear to the meat. Let's fill this plate up nicely, just like that. And then let's pour our sauce over the top. Now let's garnish this. Now you can use spring onion, or if you like, you can also use parsley as well. This is beautiful. Okay, great. Here we go. Our pork tenderloin medallion and a mango yogurt cream sauce. Ooh. Does this look beautiful or what? It's so tempting. I want to dip in right away to get some of this to see what's the flavor is like. Let's get a bigger piece. Let's get one of these giant pieces on the edge. Okay. And then let's get some of that sauce over the top. Alright, now let's give this a try. So what do you think of this dish so far? It is so simple and easy to make, right? I mean, there's nothing to it other than just pan frying the meat. Look at this. This is not overly dry, it's just perfect. If you don't mind, you can actually do it lesser time so that the center can be a little bit pink. Some people don't mind, but I prefer to have everything cooked right through. All right, let's give this a try. So tender, so soft. The sweetness from the yogurt and the tanginess just balances out everything nicely. And the meat is perfectly seasoned. Let's get some more of that sauce. Not much of a sauce because it's all reduced and thickened up. It's so tender. I mean, I almost don't even need to cut it. I can just pick up the whole medallion and just chew on it like a patty. Very, very nice. So let me know what you think of the pork tenderloin. A lot of people are afraid to cook the pork tenderloin because they know if you don't get the timing right, it'll dry right out and it'll start to get tough if you overcook it. And if you undercook it, obviously it's not ready, and then when you reheat it, it's not good again. So this method ensures that it is simple to cook because each individual piece is small enough. You can gauge the timing within minutes, to get it right. If you were to roast the entire tenderloin, it might take a little bit more challenging time on how to get it right, or maybe you get one of those thermometers to get the center temperature just right. But this way, anyone can just simply make this at home, and it's so simple and easy. Pork tenderloin is one of those typically underrated type of meat that everyone avoids. Everyone goes for the pork chop, the tenderloin, and the pork loin, as well as the pork belly, because that has a lot more fat and it's easier to cook with a lot more flavor. But the tenderloin, cooking this way with a nice sauce, you cannot go wrong. Have this over some, let's say, mashed potato, or get some toasted bread and dip it in this sauce and eat it. Just right. I mean, you cannot mess this up. Trust me. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. If you ever tried something like this before, or maybe share your recipe with us in the comments below, and then we will have a discussion on this. But for now, let me finish this, and then I'll see you on the next episode. Bye now.